In this video, I'll show you how to deal with partial or incorrect dates. When would you have an incorrect or partial date? Usually I've been finding those whenever we send out documents to be coded, meaning somebody takes paper documents, manually goes through them, and captures the date on the document. Partial date means, let's say it's a cover of a magazine and it just says August 2017. Well, there is really no date there, so coders usually put 00, which makes it a partial date. An invalid date is when somebody just makes a typo and makes it, February 31st. So that date doesn't exist, obviously, so it needs to be fixed. Let's see how we can use Microsoft Excel to deal with those problems. Here I have Excel file open, and you can see we have missing dates that have been coded as all zeros. We have partial dates that missing day, and we have partial dates that missing month, and even some that are missing year. So first thing we can do is we can look for which dates are valid and which ones are not. Let's do that. Formula we're going to use called date value. So we're going to say date value C2 and press enter. And we get essentially an error message. Now if we do it to a field that has a valid date, we'll get a number. Don't worry about what that number is. What we're interested whether we get an error or not. So let's capture that. We'll press F2 to edit the formula, and we'll say is error, and we'll add parentheses and press enter. Now we can pull it down, add a column header called bad, and if we have true, we know that this is not a valid date because it's either partial or invalid. Well, what can we do with those dates now that we identified that they're bad or partial? Well, we can split them up into 3 different columns, month, day, and year, and then we can analyze those columns separately and see if we need to search and replace or fix anything there. We can sort by individual columns to see if anything goes beyond the range of a specific month, and then we can take actions based on what we see. So let's split it up into multiple columns first. Let's make column headers month, day, year. We'll say equals left C2 2 equals mid C2, and now we need a starting position, which is 4 and 2 characters. And for year, we'll just say right C2 4. And now we can double click to apply this all the way down. And we can apply down our true false field. So now that we have everything separated, we can copy this and paste it as values. So we don't have formulas anymore, we have just numbers. Now let's correct all the months and days to 0, 1, indicating that if we don't have a day, it'll be first, and if we don't have a month, it'll be January. Now this strategy may or may not work for you, but this is what I'll do here. So I'm going to use Control H to search and replace, 0, 1, replace all, and I'm going to select another column, and I'm going to do same thing here. And Excel's trying to format it as a number, but that's okay, it doesn't matter to us. And now for the year, we're going to search and replace 4 zeros to something like 1901. And again, you can make a decision, what do you want to replace it to? We'll click replace all, okay, and now we can join it all back together into a valid date. So we'll say equals E2 and slash and F2 and slash and G2, and we can double click to apply it all the way down, and now we have a date that's going to be valid and will load into whatever review system you're trying to load this into. And you don't have to worry about some dates being 0 padded, some are not. Once you load it into a date field, it will be automatically formatted by underlying database, so those zeros will just going to be ignored. And if you want to be sure that the new dates are definitely valid, you can use the same formula from before and copy it into column I and confirm that they're good. However, because these dates now have been formatted to a date column, we'll need to make a small change to a formula. Let me show you. The formula should look just like this. What we're doing is we're converting date value back into text, then getting a date value over text field. I know it's a little weird, but that's how you have to do it. So copy the formula here and press enter, and we're going to apply it all the way down, and they're all say false now. So now we know that bad column is false, so they're good, which is true. So yes, they're good now, and you can load them into wherever you need to load. And that's how easy it is to work with dates in Microsoft Excel. Thanks for watching.